Howdy, Mr. Pete here again, your former YouTube shop teacher. Thanks for joining me. And today's video is all about LINN.TOOLS. Now, I've done videos for Henry Lambourne is his name. He's over in the UK. And he makes these beautiful 3D printed accessories for various lathes. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. But first let me say that I do have a video that I put on a month or two ago about some of these products, but there's been a lot of changes since. So let me flash on the screen right now the title of that video if you want to go back and look at it or reference it in any way. Take a look. If you don't mind, just a little bit of a rant first. Now I've got, thousands of viewers out there, but I do get a tiny amount of complaints saying, oh, you sold out, all you're doing is hawking other people's products and they're no good, blah, 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 you're just doing it because you get paid. I don't get paid for this. I do get some free tools, but you'll notice that I've done a fair amount of this, but I do not do objectionable things like I'm not going to try to sell you some breakfast food. Or one of my favorite creators talks about little snack food that you eat, nutritional stuff, vitamins, just all kinds of speedy drinks and things. I don't do that, no matter how much you pay me. I get offers, I know it's a rant, I get offers really every day, sometimes 2 or 3 a day. And I don't even know what they're selling, but here's one that came in today. You don't have to read that, but they want me to collaborate with them for cordless mini chainsaws. So I get a lot of goofy stuff like that, and those are worthless products, and I wouldn't show them. And I try to give you accurate evaluations, but people. I just had a nasty comment from a guy saying you can't give an impartial one if you're paid to do it. Well, I'm not paid, but all right, enough of that rant, and I hope, some people just turn the video off, and that's fine. I really don't want those complainers watching my videos. But now let's get on to LINN.TOOLS and what Henry just sent me here. And then there'll be a short demonstration where I actually make some chips. And I get a lot of that. You don't make chips anymore. Yeah, I do a lot of it. I've never made as many videos per week as I have in the last 6 months perhaps. So, but people don't watch. They don't watch those any more than this kind of video. So I cannot find my place on YouTube anymore. All right, let's take a look at what Henry just sent me. If you watch that video I just spoke about, there's LINN.TOOLS, you might remember that this is a DRO with a caliper that is designed to attach onto the quill of a tailstock. Now this is a South Bend, and this is the original one that he sent me, and it's just beautifully made, but it didn't work real well because there's little magnets here. Oh, gone, those magnets. So there's little magnets here that catch on to the casting, but the South Bend casting is, it's got a big chamfer on it, and it's highly irregular. And you might remember my fix was to use a washer like this. Well, Henry said you shouldn't have to do that, and he didn't want me to machine this. So what I'm saying is, and then he sent me an improved model with a lot more magnets, and it still was troublesome. And he said that he finally gave up on South Bend. He said, I'm not going to do any for the South Bend, but I am making them for many other models, and in fact he will custom make them for your MCO or whatever you might have in Europe or around the world. And but we're done with South Bend. So what he sent me was a new one, and this is for Atlas. And I believe it'll fit the 12-inch and the 10-inch. And Henry sells only on eBay. He has an eBay store. He does not have any other way of selling it. But anyway, we'll go over just a minute onto my Craftsman 12-inch lathe, and I'm going to drill an accurate hole, the depth of the hole. And now these are 3D prints, but boy, they're nice. Very nice. And you might remember that he also made this DRO that clamps on to the V-ways on a south bend to give you an accurate movement of the carriage. So that's what that's for. And those are on his website as well. And his tools are priced, I think, reasonable when you consider that it includes the DRO. I'm over at the Atlas Craftsman 12-inch lathe and looking at the tailstock now. Watch how easily I can mount this. It mounts right on the quill, like that, and then bring the knob around into place, tighten it down, and you're done. And you know, these come on automatically with movement. If I can show you. I'll put it on 0. Now I'll turn it off. The second I start moving it, it does come on. I don't know if that shows up or not. But can you see how accurate this will be? Now a lot of times it doesn't matter how accurate it is. You'll just use the graduations on the quill. But if you need an exact depth, I'll show you how to do it. Now of course this drill, it's a 3/8 drill, and it will not drill a flat bottom hole. So I want a flat bottom hole, so I'm going to drill, let's say, I want to go a 1/2 inch deep, so I'll go about 450 thousandths with the drill, and then I'm going to switch to an end mill and finish it off to depth with the end mill. Okay, I'm going to move the drill up, and I've already picked it with a center drill. Until it touches, I'm going to lock the tailstock, zero out the DRO, and drill to 450 thousandths, and I believe I'll zoom in on the readout for that. Yeah, I went 1,000th too far, but it doesn't matter because I'm going in with an end mill now so that I can have a flat bottom hole, which you might want from time to time. Now you can use a bottoming drill as well, but remember you can't really drill with an end mill, but I've already got a hole started, and this will clean it up and make it flat on the bottom. You know what I forgot to tell you? This isn't a 3/8 drill. It's one size under 3/8, which is 23/64. The reason I did that is that I brought the tool in close to the work right now, and I can touch off because the end mill is one size smaller. Otherwise you might have to put a shim in there or something like that, but I am actually touching right now, and I'm going to zero it out. And I'm locked here, so I'm just going to feed in, and I think I'll use just a dab of this and feed in to 500 thousandths. Now I'm going to keep the camera set up pretty much the way it is now so you can see both this and this. Right there. Okay, using the caliper, let me check for accuracy of the depth. Oh, I'm 1,000th off. It's 501. That's operator error on the caliper. So you can see it's going to be a darn accurate way of drilling holes or whatever you might need to do with the tailstock on your Atlas lathe. If you are interested in any of the products, you go to eBay, and this is LINN.TOOLS store. That's on eBay, not Amazon. He sells no other way, so check it out. He's got quite a few products on there for quite a few different makes of lathes. LINN.TOOLS makes and sells other devices, as I just said. Now, I did demonstrate one of these in a previous video, but I think I'll wait till a following video. These are used as a dial indicator on any lathe, and they have a magnet right here that will hold them onto your tool block. That's for checking TIR and so on. So he makes two different models. This one has a shorter stroke. This one has quite a long stroke, longer than what we need. But again, the 3D print is on both sides of the indicator, so you have magnets on both sides. Makes it just a little wider than this one, but yet very nice product. So watch for the next video on these. Now these are metric, so if Henry's watching, there might be Americans that want these in imperial version. I really don't know. Well, I sure had a lot of chatter when I was using that end mill. Just goes to show you that an end mill is not a drill. So what I did there might even be considered bad practice. I'm not sure, but anyway, that's how I did it, and there are 1,000 other ways of doing it, and some of them I'm sure are better. So thanks again, Henry, for sending this stuff, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Remember, I'm really cranking a lot of them out here during my waning years on YouTube. See you next time.